Welcome to the My Amazon Guy podcast. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. Every Friday at noon, I come in and answer your questions. How do I grow my sales on Amazon and PPC, SEO, design, and catalog management? My hope is we can all learn together. There are sometimes questions I don't know the answer to. If you know an answer to a question that's asked, don't hesitate. Feel free to add some value back to the community and throw in your 2 cents as well into the comments section. So we'll dive right in. I iterate my business like I iterate your business. So one of the things I do is I'm constantly like, how do I improve my Amazon Guy? One of the things I did this week is I realized that there's kind of like a peace of mind aspect to our business model. And we really hadn't psychologically got behind that or grasped it. I always just tell people, I'll grow your sales, hire me. I'll grow your sales, hire me, right? And so this week we created this peace of mind graphic. Let me know what you think about this. One of the things we do is create the peace of mind that all of your Amazon businesses run so you can handle everything outside of Amazon while we handle Amazon for you. All right, let's jump to questions. So we got a few in the pipeline here. Thank you so much for the super stickers. We do prioritize member questions, and I'll put the super stickers at the top, and then we'll do members and then future members. If you want to become a member today, go to youtube.com/myamazonguy and hit the join button. Daniel, at what point during or after product launch should we start optimizing for aggressive PPC campaigns without losing ranking stability? So this is after, I think that's the keyword here, after the launch. So everybody knows, of course, when you first launch your Amazon product, you want to make sure that you have everything ready to go day one. You want to have the title, the bullets, the video, A+ content, you name it. You want to have it all ready from day one. What a lot of people are uncertain about is like, okay, how much should I overspend on advertising to maintain it? What is the right feel or amount to keep the juice flowing? And that's really the heart of Daniel's question. So there's not, this is one of those questions where it's like, it depends. And I hate those answers because they don't feel good when you receive them. But this is very much an it depends question. So to answer this, the question would be, have you tested reduction? For example, let's say that you're spending $300 a day right now on PPC. Have you tested going down to $250 or $200 to see what that would do? If you're going aggressive on PPC to start, it's generally because you want to take advantage of the honeymoon period on Amazon and you want to try and grapple the keywords and battle out the competition. And you can leapfrog the competition by having more SEO keywords rank faster in the first 2 weeks during the honeymoon period, which is why you tend to go out the gate so strong. So what happens when you get to week 6? What happens when you get to week 10? All bets are off. Nobody has a specific course of action that will always work. So you do need to test it. So Daniel, just like you would test raising the prices of a product, you need to test lowering the PPC spend. So when you raise the price of a product, you don't just go from $20 to $40. What you do is you go from $20 to $22 to $23 to $24.99, and you work your way up to that $40 price point. So same thing applies here. Start to slowly pull off the aggressive PPC. Lower the bids a tiny bit. You don't want to go from aggressive to mild in comparison, right? If you do that, the thing could fall off a cliff and you might not return or get it back. So hopefully that was helpful. Good morning and good afternoon to you as well, Daniel. Thank you so much for the sticker. Karen, thank you as well for the super sticker here. Let's see if we can find in, I don't see Karen's question yet. Well, we'll try. There we go. Here's one. Launched in December. First review was 1 star, then got 5 stars, currently rated 3 out of 5. 1-star review said similar than expected. That's it. Now 70 units left in stock. Sell out and relaunch as a new ASIN, or reorder and keep fueling the listing. If I sell out and relaunch as a new ASIN, do I close this current listing? And can I literally use the same images, title, bullets, etc. on the new listing? So there's some storyline here. First review is 1 star, then got a 5 star. So Karen, first thing I would do is I would file a ticket and try and get the 1 star removed. There's only like a 3% chance that'll work. If you type into Google right now, My Amazon Guy product review removal guide, product review removal guide, my Amazon guy, you'll find my guide where I talk about some templates to use when trying to fight a product review. We actually got one removed just about a week ago. Whenever they happen, it's exciting because that's how rare they are. But if you could get that 1-star review removed, obviously you'd be in better shape. Now, having a 1-star review on a product launch is devastating. It really throws a wrench in your plans, but it's only one review. If you could get a few extra reviews over the top, you'd be in good shape. Vine, while I'm not a fan of Vine today, I don't think it works for most products. The average star review rating you're going to get from Vine is going to be 4.1. So it would still be better than that 3 you're at, though. So I wouldn't necessarily throw the towel in on this ASIN, but I probably would launch a second one as a just-in-case ASIN and maybe merge them later. In terms of terms and conditions, whenever you have the same product on multiple ASINs, that is a violation, but I've never seen Amazon enforce an account-level violation. They typically just try and merge the ASINs. So you'd have to use a new UPC. You'd have to flip different product into FBA. It's not a fun experience to try and duplicate your own product, but you might need to if you can't overcome the 1-star review. So I wouldn't give up on it, but at the same time, I would probably hedge my bets is what I would do there. Let's go to... So I'm scrolling up trying to get the super stickers. So here's Zeke and his super sticker. Thank you. Zeke says, part 1, I'm reading mixed opinions regarding small and light program. I have mixed opinions myself. I currently use it on my Age of Sage smudge kits. What do you notice when you load this listing? There's no Prime badge on the 3-pack. That's because small and light does not give Prime. So I know for a fact that I'm not getting as many sales because I don't have a Prime badge. I don't understand why Amazon doesn't do small and light with a Prime badge. It's kind of silly. They're killing the program. I don't know why they do that, but I do make more money. The margins are better because small and light, they moved the price tag up to $8, and we qualify for that. So I too have mixed opinions. All right, so let's read Zeke's question here. Fewer sales due to longer delivery times. I feel that. Amazon sending the wrong items. Don't use Amazon small and light. I've never had them send the wrong item. That's got to be an isolated issue. Could be how they set up their variations, or maybe they even shipped it in wrong. But I don't have that experience, Zeke. The extra saving profit from lower fulfillment charges will be lost from increased customer service problems, loss on returns, negative reviews, reduced sales. What is your opinion? Well, I do think that less sales are going to occur. That's 100% fact. That we know without a doubt. I'm actually going into my portal right now to see what my sales velocities are. So I'll go ahead and share those. So I sell with small and light 316 units a month. This is the last rolling 30 days on my small and light 3-pack. All right, we got to get a better view here. There we go. So here is proof you can get a 30,000 BSR item, small and light, to work. So it does work, but yes, is it lower? Absolutely. Let me go look at my 6-pack next. I'll pull this back up on screen as well so you can see my actual sales data. So here we have my 6-pack, which is Prime, doing 183 units in the 30 days. So 6-pack versus 3-pack. One is Prime, one is not. And we have, what is that, a $5 difference? Yeah, $5 difference. So here is the great use case answer for you, Zeke. Small and light works, but it's conditional, very conditional. I think that I'm very happy with 300 units with small and light where I make an extra $300 a month. I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, I make a lot more money with the other options. So the fact that when a consumer gets here that they might be pushed to try and go for one of the higher ticket items may not be a bad idea. So now the question becomes, Zeke, do you have an item that could be parented? And if the answer is no, I might give you a different answer, right? Like if you can't parent a small and light item with a Prime parentage, you may not want to do the small and light. Let's go to Zeke's next follow-up on this. I added the word zebra to one of my A+ content images, and my listing is not ranking for that word. Any idea why? I made a search in all categories, wrote my ASIN and the word zebra after it. Okay, so the word zebra probably going to be a little bit more competitive, and that might be why. This is definitely an item I'd like to see and look at. If the word zebra is only in the alt text of the A plus content, that may not be sufficient, right? So if the word zebra is competitive and you don't have it in the other SEO fields, it may be insufficient. Right now, whenever I talk about the fact that A plus content is indexed, I use Spanish as the example, right? So over the last few years, I've been a very large proponent in the SEO thought leadership of Amazon sellers, and I've said again and again, many of you are tired of hearing it. A plus content indexes, and you can test this yourself. Put Spanish into one photo's alt text, and you will index in under 48 hours. Here we have Zeke showing that he put zebra, and it didn't work for him. And my hypothesis here is that the word zebra is too competitive to only put it in to the alt text. So I think that's the challenge, Zeke. Let me know, follow up with me on that. Trace says, "You're awesome, Steven. Thanks for everything." You're very welcome. I appreciate the kind words there. We got a super sticker from Cool Peeps. Cool Peeps always seems to be one of the first to ask questions on the channel. "Hi, Brainy Steven. You're the reason I love Fridays." I'm a thank God it's Monday guy. I'm going to be in the minority on this one. Many of you are thank God it's Friday. I'm a thank God it's Monday guy. Saturday hits, and I get bored. I'm running my business at such hyper speeds that when the weekend hits, like on Saturdays, I've like a strong possibility of taking a 2 or 3 hour nap, which is probably a good thing, right? Probably a good thing, considering how taxing running an agency can be. All right, so she's got some questions here. First one: will you ever ship LTL into Amazon's warehouse, or only sticking to small parcel? I do LTL all the time, actually. I'm just a bigger proponent of utilizing small parcel whenever you're worried about stockouts. That's the caveat. So if you are correctly getting a pallet in on a good cadence, you shouldn't have any stockout concerns. Now, when we go into the November, December timeframe, I really advise against pallets because they end up sitting on the dock, right? A lot of logistic hurdles to clear with that. So typically, small parcel way to go when you're worried about stockouts. But any other scenario, LTL can really help. I'm just looking at my desk here. I got a random item on my desk here. So like, take this item here. Let's say this was the actual item I sold on Amazon, and it's a little butterfly. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an entomologist. Never talked about this on the podcast before. And I'd go around all over my neighborhood, and I'd find bugs. I loved praying mantises. That's definitely my spirit animal. Although hummingbird, probably more of my spirit animal today. I'm an iterator, and I like to move fast, and I'm eager, right? I'm going to find the nectar. But when I was a kid, I wanted to be an entomologist. So my wife, Emily, she brought me some really cool insect stuff just to look at. So I keep one on my desk and just kind of look at it every so often for funsies. Anyway, so if I was going to ship in 200 units like this is small, it's light, and I could probably fit almost 100 of these, 150 of these into a single UPS box. Now, if we took a different angle, right? So behind me here, I have an Age of Sage box. This is my Mother's Day kit that I sold $144,000 in 3 weeks. And it's a little messy, right? So in here, I've got a Mother's Day card. I've got the tumblers, all this good stuff. Now, I ship this in by pallet. This doesn't look as pretty as when the customer receives it because I keep pulling it open and everything. But notice how I can shake it, nothing moves, right? So it's a really good box. Everything's going to get to the customer without being damaged. There's a lotion bottle, there's soap, all that good stuff, right? So this is one of my most popular launches I ever did. This box would be way better on an LTL. I could put several hundred of these on an LTL shipment for like $120, right? If I tried to ship this in UPS parcel, I'd be looking at maybe a full 130% increase in cost. So you have to do LTL for certain products. Now, we have a client, World's Best Tweezers. We've been working with World's Best Tweezers for well over 4 years. It's a long time to have a client. It feels good to earn that business. And so these guys, so check out, they have Regine tweezers and World's Best tweezers. So they got a couple different product lines. Been working with them for over 4 years. And these guys will never ship a pallet for obvious reasons. When it only costs $8 to ship in 200 units, why would you ever touch LTL? So every product's going to be a little bit different here, cool peeps. So let's go to your next one. Should I ship directly from China or should goods always land in 3PL first? Now, that is an interesting question, especially in 2022. In my opinion, right now, I would not ship direct unless you have an amazingly high velocity and like shipping a full container on a single SKU makes sense. I think that the container situation is very troubling. And I'm not going to do my government rant today because I always get nasty comments. So I'll spare you that today. But what I will say is I think it behooves you to own a 1-year supply of your stock right now. And you can't put a 1-year supply of stock directly into Amazon. That's crazy talk. So what you should do is buy the year supply of stock from China, keep it at your warehouse, and keep a 60-day supply rotating to Amazon consistently to avoid stockouts. That's what I would do. Shipping direct from China into FBA used to be really cool, but restock limits, IPI, all those constraints make this very difficult. What do you recommend typically for a healthy percentage of ad spend, TACOS and ACOS for a new product and mature product? Thanks, Stephen. Awesome. Hope to meet you in person one day. Well, I'm going to be at Prosper. I've been invited to be a speaker at Prosper. So I'll be on a panel, and you guys can meet me in person if you want to come down in March into Las Vegas and check out Prosper. We actually do have a discount link we can send out for that. I don't have it off the top of my head. So, John, when you watch the replay, make sure we pin that as a top comment on getting access to Prosper tickets on ad discount. So, all right, to answer your question here, healthy percentage of ad spend, TACOS and ACOS for a new product versus a mature product. I have a really cool forecast page I've put together that I think could answer that question. Let me see if I can find that. So while I'm looking for this, one of the things I like to think about is month one, you're looking at about 30% TACOS of a product to get it off the ground. You're going to overspend on PPC, almost basically break even, slight loss in many, many situations because you want to get those keyword ranks up with the honeymoon period. Month two, I would drop that down to about 20%. And month 3 plus, you're trying to get that somewhere between 11 and 15%. All right. It took me a while to find the forecast document I was looking for. So here we go. So let's take a look at this. So I'll put this link in the chat here, or you can type in forecast sales, my Amazon guy, into Google. And in here, you can see, I usually like to view Amazon as about a 33 to 35% partner, right? So this means for every $100 you sell, they're going to take $33, $35 of that. That includes a 15% referral fee, 10% healthy advertising. That's out of date. We got to update that. We usually recommend between 11 and 14% TACOS right now. So I posted this in January of 2021. Last year, PPC costs went up a lot. So we need to update this. I'm going to forget to update this. So I'm going to write a note down. We need to update. So, and then we'll probably have to rerun the numbers. So it's probably going to be more like 35% now. So 1% storage, 1.8% shipping into Amazon. These are just average baseline numbers. And I talk about how to forecast all of this. So if you look at, what could be a prospective month 1, 2, and 3, here's your revenue. Here's your referral fee, fulfillment costs, all that good stuff. And you can see your cost of goods could be anywhere from 15 to 30% of your gross, depending on the type of category you are. And you can calculate your ad cost, your net, all that good stuff. So this is kind of like a potential way you guys could walk through that, give that a whirl. Let's scroll down and see if we got all of the super stickers. We'll start answering member questions. Looks like we got a couple more here. So my super blankie, where is your question? Trying to find you here. Well, that might have just, there it is. My listing is down on Amazon because of a keyword that triggered a prohibited medical marketing claim. We deal with this on a daily basis. We're one of the few agencies that hired janitors. That is the catalog troubleshooters of the world. The most unsexy department any Amazon team needs is catalog troubleshooting. Nobody wants to do that. All right. So I removed the triggered keyword on 131 and have been communicating with Seller Central all week with no fix. This problem has been escalated to the internal leadership team as of 2 days ago, but still no progress. Is the internal leadership team actually a level that can solve problems? Yes. So, obviously, if you send an email to Jeff at Amazon.com, good luck. You're not, it's going to hit or miss. Like, it's like a Hail Mary play that works about 1 out of 10 times these days, depending on the severity. To increase your opportunity to get an internal leadership escalation, the best thing you can do is go through the normal process first, file the cases, cite the case IDs when you reach out, and basically say, hey, I've been let down. Big problem right now, and I've got a challenge. So if you do the right thing first, go through the regular protocol, you're going to be better off. And then you can cite that when you do the escalation. In any case, what I would say that you should do here is make sure you've done a template upload to remove the prohibited claim. The number one way to fix these is to make sure you've actually done a prohibited claim template upload fix. If it was in the A+ content, you could simply just remove the A+ content, get the product back up, then edit the A+ content and try and get it reinstated following that. So we also have a lot of good coaches that can help you walk through this. There could be something critical that you've missed, a communication point you haven't done. So I highly encourage you to hire one of our coaches. We have multiple coaching options, including a newest coach, Ali. So we've got Saban and Ali. These are our listing problem troubleshooters. Saban's been overbooked, so we had to add in another one. So we've got Ali for that as well. A lot of different coaching options available for you. So if you're struggling with listing reinstatement, check that out. We also have a $1,000 option where you can hire us to do the listing reinstatement end to end. Very, very popular service. It's really, really hard to get listings reinstated. All right, so we're good there. Let's see what else we got in the queue. And my super blanky said, yep, did a template upload. It's not the A+ content. That's good. Hopefully you've done a backup of your data as well. Do an export of all of your data anytime you do a data upload. I love your government rants. Never stop them. Well, to be honest, I should probably continue doing just being myself. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. I can vouch for that. Steven, definitely into bugs. That was my brother. He likes to troll and put a couple comments in here and there. I used to do like Black Widow versus Praying Mantis fights. You'd be surprised who wins those. Bored on Saturdays. Our kids don't entertain you enough. Oh, that one hurt. That one hurt. But I am a good family man. I'll tell you, last Saturday, I took the kids to a gold mine in, I don't remember how to say the name of the city. Dahlonega? Yeah, I think I said it right. Up in Dahlonega, there's this cool gold mine in the state of Georgia, in the North Georgia part. And we got to tour the whole thing. You got to walk in, see the shafts. They turn the lights out and it's pitch dark. And the kids are like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. So yeah, to be clear, I like Spock, live long and prosper. I don't even know how to do the symbol. I'm not a Trekkie. But that's my personal motto on prosperity. So you got to run your family like you run your business. It's got to be all in. All right. So let's go scroll through. I think I've done all the sticker questions. If I miss one, let me know. And then let's go to so I'm going to go to the top here and do the member questions next to see what else I've missed. What do you think of campaign budgets of $50,000 with a low bid? Is it feasible to run this on multiple campaigns? Campaign budgets of $50K with a low bid. So I don't think Karen Carla is saying here that she's spending $50,000. What she's saying is that she's created a budget of $50,000 with just having a low bid. Can you run that on multiple campaigns? I think so. What does the data say, right? So one of the easiest things to do whenever we onboard a client with like 100 plus SKUs, first thing we do day one is we'll create massive auto campaign, one auto campaign per product, and put a low bid on it. And we find that pays for our service in month one. That one technique, it's a really, really good one. So highly recommend low bid campaigns. If you have other campaigns that are your regular run of the mill, your exact match, your broad match with high bids, you can do both of those things at the same time. This is an actionable campaign strategy that you can do right now. Got a new member of the channel, Dimitri. Thanks for becoming a member. We'll get to your question first. Go ahead and type it right in, Dimitri. Hi, Steven. Welcome to the channel. SC Trojan says, have you heard of the seller growth program? Keep getting emails from my Amazon business development account manager saying I was selected to this free program. Is there a salesy pitch of them? Well, at the end of the day, what does Amazon want you to do? They want you to spend more money and ship your product to more marketplaces. All the emails that you will get from Amazon business development are along those lines. Emily, if you are still watching the podcast, I could use a water glass. I forgot to get water for the podcast today. Help me out. Okay, so seller growth program. This, I'm not sure if I've got the right name, seller growth program. I'm going to Google it here real quick. Because there's multiple programs that Amazon comes out with. There's a team that tries to get you to launch into other marketplaces like Brazil. I can't tell you. I get like a weekly email. Launch your products in Brazil. We really want you in Brazil. And I'm just like, I don't know anything about Brazil. I'm focused on the U.S. I think the U.S. market is very robust and healthy and capable of a lot of your growth this year. I would not launch in Europe in 2022 until logistics gets cleaned up. There's a lot more competition coming in Europe right now from advertising. Same with Australia. I think we saw a comment the other day from Australian PPC. It's like out of control right now, and there's not as much demand there. So whenever you get a reach out for one of these programs, I just take it with a grain of salt. Should you say yes and take a phone call? I would. You never know. You might learn something, get something good takeaway coming out of it. But so we got another comment from SC Chair. Is for brand owners and entails free one-on-one consulting services focused on your business needs, goals, and key growth levers to help you accelerate your business. I can guarantee you right now that the first thing out of their mouth is going to be, have you put up a title, bullets, A+ content, and can you spend more on ads? They're going to spend more time pushing ads on your account than anything else. So I honestly don't think you're going to get a lot of value from that unless you're a brand new Amazon seller. Brand new Amazon seller, you need to be handhold like that. But somebody who's been on Amazon for a year, I don't think so. I don't think it'll help you at all. All right, so I'm going to go back up to the top here from oldest question from our members of the channel. We got a couple questions from Jeff here. Amazon says the title character limit is 50. That is only true in select categories, like supplements. They've been trying to do that a little bit more. Does that include the brand name? Yes, it does. I have some brands that would take up most of the character limit. I get it. I get it. And by the way, speaking of character limits, if you missed our podcast where we talked about how the search term field is completely different than most people think, you got to check that out. Every SEO tool on the market is incorrectly, except Zonguru, they've patched it, is incorrectly counting characters instead of bytes. The spaces in your search term field do not count against you in your search term field. If you miss that big announcement, it's like literally the biggest news drop of the year already, and we're only in February. Big deal. 20% more SEO juice to your search term field. Very important that you take advantage of that. Maximize your search term field with bytes, not characters. But every other field is using characters, such as the title like this. Jeff, most categories getting away with 200 characters. We usually shoot for like 170 to 190. Other categories like supplements and sports and a few others are limiting it. Luxury beauty, also very limited on titles. You want to maximize this as long as possible. And even if they tell you there's a title limit, you can still do a template upload and get around it. Do you know if Bluetooth devices are included in the new Amazon RFD requirement certifications? I would suspect yes. I am not well read on the new RFD announcements, but this is hitting a lot of people. I'm going to probably have to go read that one after the podcast today. So we'll go check that out. Em, can you bring me some water? Thank you. All right, so let's go to the next question here. Just rang my wife up. Barack says, considering we are selling the same product and same price as our competitor, how can I catch them as they seem to be indexed for more keywords than us on H10? Great question. I guarantee you it's coming from one of two things. Guarantee, like 100% guarantee. Not very often I can say this. Either you don't have enough copy in your A+ content, and that's why they're beating you on the indexing, or they're spending more money on advertising. Always one of those two things. So go check that out. Make sure you're properly indexing correctly there. Barack, you also might want to run our SEO phase 3. And phase 3 is when you take the actually, you talked about indexing. So if it's an indexing question, you're not ready for phase 3 on that. Check that out. Thank you so much, sweetie. I appreciate it. You want to do a cameo today?
I don't know.
All right, cameo from Emily, my wife, and Adam, the baby who just woke up from a nap.
Yep. Say bye, friends.
All right. It's like your favorite part on Friday. I know it, guys. It's my favorite part. So Barack, make sure you have copy in your A+ content, and a lot of it, like 500 words of copy. So what should that look like? Let's look at my listing so you can see where that needs to come from. So if we look at one of my soap listings here and we scroll down, first of all, if you haven't loaded the brand story, this is an entire section you need to load, guys. Brand story on Amazon, very important. Here's the A+ content. And this one is probably not as good as one of the others. I think it looks pretty, but it doesn't have as much copy as our other ones. So that's about 500 words. So this is a new design we just put out. So this is the Damsel soap scent. We just launched this one, and you'll notice that there's a lot of copy. This helps with the indexing. We also have, let's see if we can go to the masculine one. I think we did a better job on this one for copy. And here you have 3 paragraphs of copy under each individual photo. I think that this design doesn't look as good, but I think it has a better SEO impact, if that makes sense. So product module, my favorite A+ content module is to have the product module. So you have AOV increase by, hey, I bought fruity, I'd probably buy masculine. If I bought masculine, I might buy the macho, right? Those are things that could be very valuable to do. All right, let's go through the lists here. Sage BrandWorks, do you have any software that requests reviews like Feedback 5 or similar? Would you recommend to do it, or is it risky? Always within Amazon terms of service. So right now, I don't recommend review generation strategies. None of them. We use Feedback Wiz in the day. Good software. Helium 10 came out with it. Good software. But at the end of the day, right now, I wouldn't do it. I just simply do not believe review generation is worth the hassle. Amazon has signaled they don't like it. They're under fire from every which way from the media for fake reviews. So I don't do any review generation. Zip, none. All of the reviews that I have on my products are 100% organic. I did not ask for any of them. If you were going to ask somebody for reviews, though, the way that I would do it is I would ask them if they left you a seller feedback, just to send them, hey, you liked our products, you gave us a review, but you put it in the wrong spot. Just send the button request to them. They'll probably put it in the right spot if you do that. But yeah, it's not about review generation anymore. It's about customer engagement. So what do I mean by that? I mean, get your product inserts, right? I sent out a postcard to a bunch of Amazon sellers. If you got one of my postcards, feel free to tell me, put it in the chat and say, Steven, I got one of your postcards. We sent these to 35,000 sellers. We're trying to figure out like, hey, which sellers would be good for my Amazon guy. In any case, and we're using an old list. So if you're a new seller, you probably didn't get it. But using a product insert that looks like this and tries to get them to take an action. The action you want to take, though, is to get them to take a photo of them using the product. And if you take a photo of them using the product and they post it on Instagram under your hashtag my brand name, that will give you ammunition for your social posts on Amazon. That will give you an opportunity. Anybody that leaves a picture of them using your product, they're like 10 times more likely to leave a product review. So go engage customers, add value, but don't ask for reviews anymore. I just think it's too risky. Anybody that has a review request in a product insert will eventually have to remove their inventory out of FBA. We've just seen it so many times. Steve, we have a product being sold from other 3P sellers, but we'd like to start selling it direct. They have the wrong UPC and brand name, but they have a great history in sales and reviews. Is the wrong brand name trademarked? If not, I'd say go ahead and take it over and switch it and get it correct. So if you are the true owner of that ASIN, get your brand name attribute updated, get it under your brand registry control, and start selling it direct. Another opportunity you could do is launch your own products, put everything correct, and then do a merger at a later point. But Amazon will not accept a product merger unless both brand names match. So you're going to have to change the brand name at some point. We change brand names at My Amazon Guy every day, and you're welcome to hire us to get support on that question. We do it all the time. Just go to myamazonguy.com, click on our brand name change service. I've been doing OA and RA. For those that don't know what Jeremy does, that is retail arbitrage or online arbitrage. That is going out and buying other people's products at retail and just reselling them at retail. So no wholesale, no private label, just retail to retail. Working on finalizing my first product. Would it be best to start a new seller account or go brand registry with that, or keep the same seller account? That's an interesting question. I would say it depends on your objective. If you are just going to slowly phase out RA, I would say keep the same account. If you think that you would sell either one, the brand or the RA account, but not both at the same time for any reason, I would start a new account. You're going to have your own LLC. I actually was talking to some financial experts and accounting experts the other day. And the way that we built My Amazon Guys, we got a holding company at the top, and then we have the subsidiaries, LLCs underneath. So we got LLC 1 here, LLC 2 here. I separated the agency and the product business for liability purposes. That way, if one goes down, the other's okay for whatever reason. And so it just really depends. But Jeremy, most likely the answer for you is going to be keep the account. I just don't see a lot of reason why you wouldn't want to do that. Let's look at Daniel's question here. Thanks for the donation, Daniel. 9 months into launch, 85 4.8 ratings with 13 positive reviews. Still loses sales ranking from around 9,000 to 23,000 or worse within 2 days after pausing or reducing aggressive, unprofitable campaigns. So that's a big drop, but keep in mind from 9,000 to 23,000, that's not that bad. If you're in the top 10,000, it's because of the aggressive PPC. So you could probably maintain it at the 23,000 velocity and be happy. I think that'd be okay. So where's the middle ground, or where is your objective? It might be somewhere in between. But I would say going from aggressive and only dropping to 23,000, that seems okay to me. I think you probably are doing a lot better than you might suspect. Because keep in mind, all the people that are in the top 10,000, they're there because of aggressive PPC. So I think that's the answer to that one. We got another super sticker coming in from Ruben. Hello, Steven. What do you think the worrying tacos percentage should be? Meaning, at what percent should we start worrying and start reducing the tacos? 20%. After 3 months, if you're at 20% on a product, your product has a problem. You need to redo the main image, most likely, and you need to reduce the ad flow, and you might have a dud product. Now, there could be exceptions to everything I just said, but I would say just generality. Anything above 20% tacos means your margins are depleted. That's really why I answered it the way I did. Any tips for selling furniture? So we worked with a brand called Abington Lane for 3 years. We helped them sell all kinds of furniture. They would launch a really good item, and then everybody would knock it off. Margins on furniture aren't as good as you might expect, and you have to deal with large shipments, and that's hard on logistics. So like grocery, low margin, high velocity category. Furniture, low margin, low velocity category, harder to pull off. So Nathan, just keep that in mind. But I would say build something that you feel like will serve a niche, but keep in mind that it's going to be only a shelf life of 1.5, 2 years tops. And then somebody else is going to come in with the same item at a lower price. So you got to build a community and build a cult brand whenever possible with higher quality. Easier said than done. All right, let's go to the queue here. What about oversized furniture on a pallet? So you at this stage, if it's an oversized item and you have to ship in onesie twosies on a pallet, you may just want to ship direct to consumer to begin with and bypass FBA. You don't get the Prime badge if you do this, unless you do seller fulfilled Prime, which is ridiculously difficult. But that's how I would look at that, Nathan. Should the bid for exact match highest followed by phrase and broad, $1 for exact, 90 cents for phrase, 80 cents for broad? I have a campaign when the bid is the same for all three and only broad get impressions. So this is a really interesting PPC scenario. I've done both, and I've got the same results when I've done it both ways. So what do you do in a scenario when you test things two different ways and you get the same results? It tells me that the bid levels for the impression types are not the problem. It tells me that more than likely Amazon is simply pushing broad match harder. And your advertising dollar opportunities are always going to be more available, more opportunity, more impressions coming out of broad match. So increasingly, I have been a bigger fan of broad match campaigns. They are underrated. Too many people are going all in on exact match and making the bid so freaking high that you can come in with a broad match and get better results in many instances. So your overall bids, I would think you should run another test, SC Trojan. I think you should run a second test where you increase all three of the bids by 50%. See if you get different results with that. If you do, it's a bid problem. If you don't, it's because Amazon just likes broad match. What key tips can you share with us while launching a new product? Type of campaigns, exact broad match, bid levels, maybe keywords based on volume. What should I pay attention to and not wasting? Thank you. Dimitri, great question. What I would say is you need to have everything ready day one. You need to make sure everything is optimized on the listing. One of the best tips I would give you is have and nice. Check this out, guys. I got Amazon's Choice in bath soaps. That's always a good one. Let's put my face up here. Here we go. And so everything from title, the main image, do lots of testing on the main image. Lots and lots of testing. A/B test with PickFood. Go to pickfood.com/myamazonguy for 50% off your PickFood test. And have lots of good secondary images. We still have not taken lifestyle shots with our product yet. We need to. Our warehouse is just overwhelmed. And we've got videos. We've got parentage. We have all of these things. We have the A+ content. We have the brand story. All of these things ready day one, and then advertise the heck out of it. But here's the thing that you probably haven't thought of. Most of what I said, you probably remember that. You probably see me in a video or whatever, right? But one thing that you haven't thought about doing, and here's going to be the one that's the real winner. The tip of the day goes to this one. Go into your offer section and look at offer start date. Once the product is launched on Amazon, customers can start placing orders. In addition to that, go over to more details and go to launch date and release date. I'm not clear why Amazon has made this so confusing to follow with having these three different fields. So just set all three to the same date. Put them 2 months out. If you're going to launch, let's say, so today is February 4th. Let's say you're going to launch on Valentine's Day. Weird day to launch, I know. But let's say that was the day. And you've shipped in everything today, February 4th. You're going to launch February 14th. Set the launch date to 2 months out. And once you've done that, once it checks into FBA, come back in and delete the launch date, the release date, or set it to today's date. Best day of the week to launch? Survey says Sunday. Number one best day to launch an item is Sunday. Number two, Monday. So if you know that Sunday and Mondays are the best day to launch it on Sunday. So you get both days. So what I would do is I would wait until it checks in at FBA, Dimitri. When it checks into FBA and you've got your A+ content live, you have all of the ads set up and everything optimized, update the launch date and go launch. Best tip of the day goes to Dimitri. Jason Master Mateo, one of our Amazon coaches and account director at Vendor Central. Amazon announced increasing the Prime subscription price, which is what caused Amazon stock to go up 20% last night. Estimated there are 112 million Amazon Prime members. That's $20 a year, yearly sub price of $139. That's an additional $2.2 billion per year in subscription revenue. Pretty awesome news. Made the stocks go up like $300, $500. I don't know what they're doing right now. Why don't we go check? Amazon stock price. See what Google says. Up $384, 13.85% today. Market really liked that news. And that's because they know everybody's going to keep paying for that Amazon Prime membership. I know I'm going to. Holy crap, $3,100 for a stock price. That's a lot. That is a big, big stock. Thanks for the news, Jason. I'm glad you mentioned it. I probably would have forgotten to. Karen says, do manual product targeting PPC ads have any impact on organic ranking since you're not targeting the customer search term, but instead just targeting other ASINs? I believe they do, but I don't believe they have as much of an impact. I don't have a percentage, but I would guess anywhere from 10 to 20% of the impact. So the way that this could work is Amazon has a product in your category. So if we use my A2H soaps and just continue using that, if somebody targeted my ASIN today, right here, and they showed up on an ad, which could show up right here, right? So Dr. Squatch probably doesn't care who I am. They have 62,000 reviews. They're probably not targeting my ASIN specifically. They're probably targeting the whole freaking category. And so what they're doing, and they sell the same exact soap I do, by the way. 3 bars for $27. I'm selling 4 bars for $17. Same exact soap. We source from the same location as Dr. Squatch. So that's the difference between 62,000 reviews and 200. Not even 200. All right. So if somebody shows up like this, if I click on Dr. Squatch right here, I just cost Dr. Squatch probably $1. And they're the number one seller in bath soaps, number one badge. So if a consumer clicked on his product on my listing and then bought, will this affect their SEO? It will, but it may not necessarily affect the SEO for any specific keyword. It will probably just affect it from general velocity increase, which is why I pegged that right around 10 to 20%. Interesting question. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. Love your government rants. My profit margin is 37.5%. Cost of goods and Amazon fees. PPC will cut into my margin. How to reconcile this? How much PPC should be done without plummeting the margins? All right. PPC will cut into your margins. I would go half of your margin on PPC. Pretty aggressive. So 15% probably where I'd go, Karen. I'd go 15%. And the reason for that is if you spent 15% on PPC, it's going to grow the brand. And for every sale you get from PPC, it's going to generate 3 organic sales over time. So PPC is a necessary evil. it's getting more expensive, but it just has such a drastic impact. This is why most agencies focus on PPC as their number one core competency. We're trying to be equal in all four at My Amazon Guy. We're the industry leader in SEO and catalog, but I think we have massive competition on PPC. I think when you combine all four of these together, you get a better result, though. So even if I was an 8 out of 10 on PPC, if I'm a 10 out of 10 on SEO and catalog, this is better than being a 10 out of 10 only on PPC and a 5 out of 10 on the others. So the way that I would look at this, Karen, is you're going to have to spend that PPC. It's going to be worthwhile, but make sure you pair it with the other strategies and combine them together. Very easy to explain how this could combine. You could have a listing image improved by design. You could have the SEO campaigns match the PPC campaigns. As you're trying to go into SEO phase 3, use the same keywords that you're trying to rank and rank higher in PPC in the title, the bullets, the description, etc. Write more copy using the catalog team, and your PPC costs will go down. So that's my argument there. Take it or leave it. Let's go. We're going to take I'm almost caught up on all the member questions, so we're going to start taking some future member questions. If you want to become a member of the channel, just hit the join button on YouTube. Hi, Mag. In H10 Cerebro, when trying to reduce the number of sponsored keywords to make our ratio better, is it as simple as reducing ad spend on broad and phrase match campaigns? Am I missing something? So I'm thinking this one through. Number of sponsored keywords to make our ratio better. So whenever we talk about ratios, what I typically do is I like to say we want a 1-to-2 ratio. That is one SEO keyword for every 2 sponsored products. So I just loaded my soap into Cerebro. Let's see how I'm doing. This is going to be my fruity soap. And here we go. We got 5,000 total keywords in the distribution, 1,500 in sponsored products, and 3,700 in organic. Do I meet the ratio? I do. It's about 1-to-2. Pretty dang good. So we have plenty of keywords in use. Very, very healthy. I'm very pleased with these results. If we look at the word frequency chart on the right over here, we see soap is in 3,000 of the 5,000 keywords. This tells you that soap is the number one thing to focus on. That's your seed. Men, interestingly enough, shows up 627. Mind you, this is my fruity soap. So what do we know? What do we learn from the keyword distribution here? Some men like to buy fruity soap. That's what we just learned. And there's probably an underdevelopment of men's soap on Amazon. I've known that because my men's soap sells better than my fruity soap. Anyway, so let's go back to the question here. How do we make the ratio better? So it depends on where your distribution is today, Mr. Coley. And if you're under 1,000 keywords, both stink. If you're in a ratio like this and your ratio is out of whack, let's say you have 2,000 keywords sponsored and 2,000 organic, it's because your SEO needs to be improved. It's not necessarily because you're overspending on ads. It's probably more likely your SEO is too weak. You need to spend more time developing out SEO and spend like one of the examples I give for this usually is like, would you spend $10,000 on PPC and never go back and optimize it? Probably not. Rodrigo, thank you for becoming a member of the channel today. Appreciate it. We'll see if we can find one of your questions. Thanks for the help, Steven. You're very welcome. Hi, any thoughts about Amazon Launchpad? Yes, it sucks. Don't do it. It locks your product into the wrong categorization. It's harder to get out of. They also take a revenue share of your product. They do one good thing. They give you a video and the A+ content. That's the prop I'll give them, right? I don't know what button I just clicked. It's a green button on my keyboard. But I would say Launchpad is not worthwhile. Do not do it. It's also a direct competitor to My Amazon Guy in the sense that we will do all the same things. The difference is after month 3, we're still here. After month 3, they disappear and they still take your money. That's the experience that I've had from Launchpad. We've had many, many people leave Launchpad and come to My Amazon Guy. after not doing well. One of those brands is Amazon.com/we. This guy has worked with us for more than 3 years, and we took him from Launchpad, and he couldn't get above $10,000 a month in revenue. I think he must have run out of stock. I'll have to ask what's going on there. He's done so well. He's out of stock, apparently, as I look at them live. But isn't it cool? We were able to get him the vanity URL, Amazon.com/we. He can go on stage and do his TED Talks and say, hey, check me out on Amazon. It's Amazon.com/we. That's one of the coolest brand store URLs we've ever been able to obtain. Really, really cool. So yeah, I think Launchpad is overvalued, and definitely don't do it. Karen, thank you for the super sticker. We'll go to your question next. If there's any way to know which organic keyword drove the sales. I got loads of sales a few days ago, but it wasn't through PPC, and I want to know what search terms are the lead to these sales. So what I would do is I would go through 2 sets of data. Data set number 1, I would look at Helium-10. If the sales that you just got were a huge drove coming out of nowhere, and let's say we're talking like 1,000 orders, it might have actually been a social post or a TikTok or an Instagram that helped you get that sale, Karen. If it's not, and so what you should do is you should Google the product, see if there's like a news mention, right? I see this all the time. One of my clients will get like into Forbes or Business Insider or something, and then all of a sudden their item just like really peaks, and then it dies back down. If it's like a huge spurt and dies back down, it's a social thing usually driving that. If it's sustained and it's coming in off SEO all of a sudden, what I would do is I would look at the Cerebro data, and I would actually go look at the keyword tracker to see what keywords went up. What if you had a keyword? So let's sort this by search volume here. So gifts for men. I am today currently ranked 305 for gifts for men. 430,000 search volume keyword. That's a big keyword. If all of a sudden I went from organic spot 305 to the top 10 for this term, I'd probably sell out in a week because there's 430,000 people searching for that. So that's a really interesting, and I'm actually indexing for soap, which is cool, and men's gifts, a lot of good things. I'm not indexing for Dr. Squatch yet, interestingly enough, but and I'm not using his terms in any of my listing because that could lead to a trademark infringement takedown, which makes it hard to rank for the brand name unless I'm just advertising on it. Anyway, so what I would say is you're going to have to see what keywords spiked, what went up. If you're not tracking your keywords today, I highly recommend using Helium-10. It is the most powerful keyword tool. I've seen lots and lots of polling data on this. They consistently win because how powerful some of their data is. I do have a discount available for Helium-10 sign up. If you haven't signed up with Helium-10 yet, use the code MyAmazonGuy50, and you can use that link directly and check that out. All right, let's go to the next question here. Keiki says, thanks, you're very welcome. Coca-Cola. Say that 10 times fast. All right, so I'm going through the list to see what member questions I haven't gotten to yet before we go to future member questions. Let's see. I think I've done that one. Trying to scroll through. I don't go directly in order because I have to go up and down as super stickers come in. All right, here's one I don't think I've done yet. Vasil says, I lost my buy box because of my price of my branded item. Emily just brought me this nice wrap that I got to eat after this. I'm so spoiled. I lost my buy box because of my price on my branded item as the only seller. Should I recreate the listing as the price is at break even? I have done a lot of coaching on Amazon price fixing items of late. One of the guys I coached on this the other day is still struggling to get Amazon to release the buy box hold that they have on him. And he's super frustrated. He's been back and forth with me a bunch on this. He did everything I asked him to do, still can't fix it. I had a second guy that's an active client with us that we did a video on to showcase how messed up it is, where Amazon is price fixing and locking their buy box down. We were able to get his fixed. And the way we got it fixed was he made a post on the seller forums calling Amazon out for price fixing. Right now, Amazon is super sensitive to this because they are price fixing and they have litigation ongoing in mass. Washington state government also really hammering down on Amazon right now. So here are the non-price fixing reasons that your listing's buy box could be locked. Number one, you actually have the item for a lower price off of Amazon. Walmart is usually the number one culprit. Walmart and Amazon, they do not get along. They're fist fighting with each other right now. A little bit of fisticuffs going on with Walmart and Amazon. So if you have the price lower off of Amazon, you might lose your own buy box on Amazon. With that in mind, you could use different UPC codes if you have to have a lower price off of Amazon. That's one solution. The second thing that could happen is you try to raise your price. And when you try to raise your price, you raise it too fast. So what you do here, Vasil, is increase your price in increments. So let's say you went from $40 to $50. Instead of doing that, go from $40 to $43. And then 2 weeks from there, go from $43 to $46. Work your way up. So if you're losing your buy box because you mess with your price, that one's fixable. Amazon says company based in the UK has seller contributions for images and titles. The ASIN was created by me in the US. We sell 100 times what the UK does. What to do? Jeff, open a UK account, take over the brand registry, file tickets in the UK brand registry to get that to get changed. Best thing you can do there. Instead of trying to fight against Amazon, just work in their system and do what they're asking for. Get the seller contribution updated in the UK. Amazon Mexico. Any experience to share on it? Honestly, I sell 1% of my goods in Mexico, and I never ship into Mexico. I just use NARF. That is the North American Remote Fulfillment Program. That is not a pinky in the brain NARF reference. NARF. North American Remote Fulfillment Program is a no-brainer. Take you about 20 minutes to set up. We also have this as a service at My Amazon Guy. If you want us to set up NARF for you, we can do it. The only caveat is I can't control what items are prohibited from NARF. So if you sell a grocery or a health or a beauty item, you might not be able to do it. I do not believe selling FBA in Mexico is worth the effort, but I do believe NARF is worth it. Split shipments. LTL shipment gets just a couple of boxes split off onto a second pallet. Any workarounds? Yes. When you go to create the shipment, cupcake sprinkles, and it's good to see you, by the way. Might have been a couple weeks since we last spoke. I recommend that you put the number of case size to max possible size. So 200 or 150, somewhere in that range. So if you have an LTL shipment trying to break up, like 2 or 3 boxes off, if you tell them that the case size is 200 in the first step of creating the shipment, a later step in the shipment, you can actually clarify, I don't really have 200 in that box. I've actually got 20 in that box, and there's 10 boxes. That's okay. They will let you customize that at a later point. So I think you're going to be okay there. All right, Brian's got a list of questions coming in. PPC budget question. I'm launching 5 shoes with 6 variations. We love working with shoe clients. You're how we walk around these days. I'm at a crossroads as to how much I should spend on PPC. Should I budget $1,000 for the parent shoe per month, or do I need more like $1,500 or $2,000 per shoe per month? PPC budget. All right. So they just came in twice. Brian, what is your goal? I can't just simply say, hey, 1,000 or 2,000. Well, in a nutshell, I'm just going to say spend more on PPC. That's generally the right answer normally. But if your goal is to be a $100,000 brand per month, you need to spend anywhere from 11 to 15% of tacos on sales, advertising. If your goal, though, is to be a $20,000 brand, then you're not going to have to spend as much on PPC, right? But if you want to hit 100K, you got to spend the money and pony up. So Brian, I guess the question would be, how's your ACOS doing? What's your overall goal? What are you trying to hit? If you're trying to hit this with maximum growth, then higher budget makes sense. If you are worried about margin, so if you think about it this way, Brian, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1, profit at the cost of margin, versus over here, 10, growth at the cost of profit. What's your number? Take that number, apply it to the math, and work the math backwards. That's the best way to do it. All right. Alex says, will there be a record of the stream? Yes. Every single video I've ever produced, 100% live on YouTube. Hit subscribe right now and then go into the YouTube channel and see all of the 900 videos of content I've put out. 900 videos. Can you imagine starting out the company if you thought you were going to put 1,000 pieces of content out in your first 4 years? We did it. Some weeks I'll put out 1 piece a day. It's lots of fun. If you liked today's podcast, tell me what you liked the most about it, or just give me a thumbs up or a like on the podcast. We appreciate that. Smash those like buttons. I'm not done yet. I'm still answering some questions. Let's see. I think I might have almost caught up on the member questions. It was pretty rough getting through all the member questions today. You guys had a lot of them. Thank you for being a member of our channel. Kevin, good morning down to you in Florida. I know he's in Florida because he tells me every week. Let's see. I think that's all the member questions. So we're going to go to future member questions and get those in. Thank you, Steven, coming in from Sage. You're very welcome. Selling graphic T-shirts FBM. Any advice or secrets on how to fight Amazon merch listings? There's no margin in that. Truth be told, you're really in for an uphill battle, Vadim. And the advertising on shirts is a little rough because of the low margin. So that's going to be tough. Affiliate sales. Is there a way to see if some of your FBA sales are coming from Amazon affiliates? Nope. No way to check, unfortunately. Hey, Steven, I got brand registry from you guys. You're really fast and quick service. Thank you for the endorsement, Rodrigo. John, make sure we send this over to Ariel to add to our testimonials. Unlike Amazon, no A+ content running. They say my account is not healthy, but I have never had any health issues. Rodrigo, go check out Canada. You might have a Canada suspension. That is normally the #1 reason that this happens. Of the 650 trademarks and brand registries that we have helped with at My Amazon Guy, and by the way, if you need a trademark for your next brand, well, come on over to myamazonguy.com and buy it from us. You heard it from Rodrigo here. He got it super fast. 1 business day. That's how fast we get you your trademark. And what you're going to do is you can get trademarked in 1 day and brand registered in under 7. So Rodrigo had a challenge, though. Unhealthy account status. The #1 cause of that is usually a Canada suspension. So get unsuspended in Canada. If that's not the problem, you could try putting the brand registry under a different email address. For whatever reason, Amazon has blacklisted your account and your email address. So you need to find out why. Call up Amazon and ask them. Every time I do one of these podcasts, I'm always out of breath after I leave this, and I go drink a Mexican Coke, which is why I've got the Mexican Coke up behind me to sugarcoat down the throat. A lot of effort I put into this. Basil says, here is my keyword distribution. 12,000 keywords. That's a lot of keywords. 8,200 sponsored and 4,100 organic. So what this tells me, Basil, is that your product is advertising on too many keywords, most likely. This is a very high number of Amazon keywords that you're dealing with. And you basically, if we were going to ask you the question of 1, profit at the cost of growth, 10, growth at the cost of profit, you are probably a 10. You are growing like crazy. And you're advertising on some words that are not relevant and probably wasteful. So what I would do is I would do a keyword gap analysis. I would look at the keywords you're advertising on versus the keywords you're organically indexed on and take the following action. Either stop advertising on them, assuming they don't sell, right? If they got good ACOS, obviously keep advertising on them. And if they do have good ACOS and they're advertising, but they're not indexing for SEO, what's wrong? it's because you didn't have the content on the page. Go rework the A+ content, go rework the title, put those keywords in to that. So that's how I would solve for that. Karen, appreciate the super sticker here. I think we already got your question, but let me double check. Yeah, we did that one. Okay. A bunch of my listings have been removed for pesticides, but Amazon has items in FBA. Will they relist them on their own? Lucas, we have a free pesticides test. This is one of my favorite videos I ever put out. And I basically yell into the microphone for 2 minutes and give everybody the free answers to pesticides. So type in pesticides, my Amazon guy into Google, get my free test, get that passed. If Amazon removed them, they will reinstate them if you simply put in the correct information into the back end. Watch my video on how to fix this, Lucas. I bet you could be fixed within 1 day. How do I remove Amazon for my brand product? Someone using Vendor Central to send products. File a trademark infringement inside of brand registry. Thank you for the super sticker as well. Rodrigo, you're very welcome for the help. Zohaib, can we replace PPC ad video that is already running and have history with another video? No. Great question. So here's the scenario. Zohaib has a video running and has a great campaign. He's got a lot of history on it, right? He's like, well, I have a better video now. Can I just simply insert the new video? And the answer is no. You have to make a new campaign. Sucks, unfortunately. Etsy, Ballin, Steven, what do you do when a buyer returns a counterfeit item or a worthless item in place of a $200 to $300 return? File an A to Z claim. Amy, not A to Z claim. Dustin, hold me accountable. Did I just drop the wrong one? What's the claim that a seller files? It's not the A to Z claim. Shoot, now I can't remember it. Somebody help me out in the comment section. All right. I've listened to your podcast for months, but was able to squeeze in time in my workday to see this live for the first time. Thanks for being here, Amy. We value your advice, and we've hired Saban for a call a few times. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Saban has been overbooked. We had to add on additional coaches. If you guys need a coach, go check it out. myamazonguy.com, coaching, and you can get that filed today. If you need same-day help, same-day appointments available. What IPI score would you need to raise your limit from 1,000 units? It's not an IPI basis anymore. IPI is your storage limits. It's not your restock limits. So when it comes to restock limits, what you need to do is ask for a higher restock, and they might grant it. We've seen a lot more leniency in the last 2 weeks on this question. And Jahil, if you are an Amazon Guy client, my Amazon Guy client, we can have one of our insiders at Amazon ethically submit a request to improve your limits. So we can help out with that. But in terms of increasing the IPI, it's reduce your items being stored at Amazon for lengthy periods of time without cells. Make sure you've got those units turning. Lee says, I'm brand registered in the UK and trademark, started selling in France. I have a hijacker in France who jumps on my ASIN every few days. I've tried everything to get him off. Go buy a trademark in France. This is something we can help you with, Lee. This is a service I have not talked about yet before. It's brand new. We have the ability to file an international trademark to remove hijackers. It was really complicated to figure this out, which is why we took so long to file this and make this a service. But essentially, the cost is $400 plus the international application fee. So you could be anywhere from like $800 to $1,000 typically. And you can get a quote right here. I've actually never tested this out on my own computer. So let's see. Let's test this live while 50 people are watching this. And basically you just need to tell me what country. Do we ask for the right country? Let's see. Trademark phrase. Why don't we have a field for country? Oh, there it is. What country would you like to fill in for your trademark? So if you come in here and tell us what country, so let's say you want to do France, notice how many countries they have listed. But here's the caveat. I can only do this particular service for somebody that lives in the US. You have to be a US resident, and we can file it for you in to be in the International Madrid system to get a France trademark. So Lee, if they're that big of a problem, use an international trademark to get rid of the hijacker. I am confident that the service will help you. Lee, I highly recommend you do it. I'm going to post it in the trademark. I'm posting it in the comment section here. International trademark. Check that out. If a broad or a phrase match targeting effect is it effective in ranking? If I want to rank for keywords, should I target with exact match only or both or broad? Abdallah, great question. Answer: all of the above. The broad match campaign that I did on my Age of Sage box. So that's this box that we've been talking about earlier in the podcast. Everything in this box, I sold $144,000 in 3 weeks during Mother's Day last year with $11,000 in PPC spend. $5,000 of that spend came in off of one broad match keyword, gifts for mom, proving that mass indexing 3,000 keywords in less than 3 weeks is possible. And you can do that with a broad match keyword. So really good question. Can we email such as PDF of instructions to customers after sale? No, you cannot. What you could do, though, is load the PDF to the ASIN page. Type into Google PDF, load my Amazon guide for my guide on that. I have a guide on everything. And if I don't, I'll make one. Like the new radio question we got today. I'll have to make a guide on that next. I'm selling a product that customers are searching for in Korean, but can't target those keywords in PPC. What should I do? Add Korean to your listing, especially the alt text and the A+ content if you can. What do you think about worrying tacos percentage should be? Meaning, at what percentage should we start worrying and start reducing the tacos? 20%. How about warranty registration QR codes in the product insert? That's okay. Yes, that's fine. Just don't ask for a review. Is it possible to see a breakdown of your ratings per variation on your own account? Yes, but not with Amazon's tools. You need a tool like bagels.io. I actually don't know if that still works. I believe Helium 10 also can download and export all of your reviews per ASIN, though I haven't personally used it. Let's go. So I think we did some of these. Coming in from LinkedIn here. When I'm about to go out of stock and know it's going to be 3 to 4 weeks before I will be back in stock, what should I do? Go aggressive with PPC or slow down and change price? Raise your price, slow down the sales. There's a lot of people that think you should go out of stock with high velocity. I'm not one of them. I think it's better to get the margin. I'm a business guy. I'm a marketer, but I'm a business guy. And when the ego fights against each other, the business guy wins. Business guy beats up the marketing guy inside of me, and that means I like money. I like the profit and I like the margin. I'm a hardcore marketer, but I'm an even harder core businessman. So go for the margin. Do manual product targeting PPC ads have any impact on organic ranking, since you're not targeting customer search terms, but instead targeting other ASINs? Yes, they do. About 10 or 20% is my guess. Running 4 ads for 4 similar products. After I make variations of them, only one of them shows in the ads on Amazon, despite running different campaigns for each ASIN. Is it due to the variation? Probably not. Vishal, that's probably... You're not getting impressions on the other ones. It's got to be a challenge. Your category might be affecting this. This is a weird one. I've never heard of somebody not getting impressions on a variation when they're separated out in different campaigns. I don't know how to answer that one, Vishal. I want to see that one in person, to be honest. Send me a screenshot of your ad data to podcasts@myamazonguy.com, Vishal. I want to check that one out. My Amazon account deactivated. Amazon claimed that I had already created an account, which was been suspended by this. But this is my first account. I have no other account. The address is my home. Your personal Amazon account can count. So if you use the same email address on multiple filings, that's your problem. Ask for reinstatement. Let them know, that you're a compliant seller. These are the hardest things to fight. Could take you 3 months to fix that one, sadly, unfortunately. Your thoughts on canonical URL? Not as important as it used to be, but still worthwhile. So I actually have a court case where I'm going to be an expert witness on canonical URLs. Can you guys believe that? It's weird. I'm getting a lot of lawyers reaching out and booking expertise calls with me these days. And it's phenomenally odd that I'm going to be doing a trademark infringement canonical URL expert witness testimony. But yeah, that's happening. That's happening. And I can't share any details beyond that. But I will tell you that canonical URLs do matter. They affect Google ranking more than Amazon ranking. You can set them for, and I didn't even explain what a canonical URL is. So let's go into one of my listings and explain that, because there's going to be at least 25 people watching this that are like, I have no idea what a canonical URL is. So let's go talk about it. So up at the top here, you can see the canonical URL is this URL right here. Fruity Scent Natural Soap Women. That is the canonical URL. 5 words. What do you notice? Fruity Scent Natural Soap Women. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do you see how the canonical URL is highly impacted in the first 5 words? So they cut the word for and they cut the word bar, but that affected the canonical URL. You can ticket Amazon to ask them to set the canonical URL manually, or you can put a hyphen after the first 5 words. That's the best, easiest way to set the canonical URL. Now, when you go to Amazon, or you go to Google rather, let's go type in Fruity Scent Natural Soap Women like this. Let's go over to Google, type that in. Let's see if my item ranks number 1. Lo and behold, it does. So do you see how this could affect you? Number 1 SEO based on the canonical URL for those terms. Very, very helpful to know this, isn't it? So if you know that there's a really high volume impression keyword on Google and you want to get some Amazon sales, set the canonical URL. That was like second big tip of the day. For those that stayed into the second hour, you guys are probably super glad you did. That was a good tip, wasn't it? Canonical URL. Your review of Prohibited software, is it useful? Yes. They freaking sold their software for like 50 million. I don't actually know what the number is. I'm just guessing. And the fact is, if you can sell software that much money, there's probably something in it. I have not personally driven it myself. I have respect for them from afar. Downloaded the category listing report as well. Everything is clear. Thanks for your responses. You're very welcome. I can't edit the listing because my account is outside of the USA. It says I'm not allowed to sell pesticides. So you need to tell them it's not a pesticides, Lucas. Why are there no images for my variation in the parent listing? Just words like size A and B. How can I put images in there? So if you're in like the clothing category or certain categories, sometimes you have to select the variation before they show you the information of the product. You could load images to the parent inside of Seller Central. Sometimes that will help. Give that a whirl, Maney. Let me know if that works. I wanted to ask, how can I hide my BSR? You do not want to hide your BSR. Your BSR, if it's not present, means your subcategory ID is not set correctly, which means you lose keyword rankings. Good vibes right back at you. Why do you always suggest fixed bid, not down bid only? This is just specifically she/her for product launch. Down only is totally solid after you have 20 sales on a particular campaign. How to check my ranking on the individual keyword. We like to use H10 Cerebro. We just had a number of products removed for pesticides. Think it's an attack from a competitor. File tickets, prove it's not a pesticide. I have a few variations. It's probably not an attack from a competitor, by the way, Lucas, unless it's coming from like Canada into the US, something like that. I have a few variations, so I can delegate 2 of them for small and light program. That's great, Zeke. I'm glad. Let me know how that goes. Manny, hello, right back at you. Sylvia, in business report sessions include PPC clicks? Yes and no. They should. They often don't. And I get a lot of questions about why there's such a big discrepancy. And I actually said the word discrepancy out loud before I read the rest of your question, and I'm not surprised you used the word discrepancy because there is one. H10 Cerebro and trying to reduce the number of sponsor keywords to make our ratio better. Is it simple as reducing ad spend? Maybe. Notice that the search results are different in different areas, such as East versus West Coast. Yes. Why is that? It's because the conversion of the keyword is better in certain areas. So I don't have a really good example for this off the top of my head, but I'm going to make one up. So let's say I was selling black markers. This is a terrible example. I need to get a better one. And for whatever reason, the term Expo, let's go with the brand name, or let's make it more basic. Let's say whiteboard marker. And let's say that people in New York really freaking loved black and they bought black more than they bought blue. But over in California, for whatever reason, Mr. Californians, they have blue markers over there. They love blue markers in California. So on the term whiteboard marker, which one is going to rank number one in New York versus California? New York going to get the black marker, and in California, they're going to get the blue. That's why the keyword rankings could be different in geographical areas. I'm pretty proud of my on the impromptu explanation of that. That was a good explanation. Bad metaphor, but good explanation. Let me know if that helped you out. All week, no fix. Problem's been escalated to the internal leadership team as of 2 days ago. I think we read that one. 1 month after launch, still 75% of sales coming from PPC. So index for 900 keywords. You're right on target. I think that's good. That seems very normal. Very, very normal. So I would say the next month, you'll probably see some improvements and it will continue improving. Your thoughts on mechanical URL? We did that one. If you have two products and are still a small seller, what do you recommend doing for PPC? How can you blow it up? You need to be very specific on the niche that you're targeting. The lower your budget, the more niche you need to get. Does Amazon take into consideration your conversion rate and your PPC tariff or only number of sellers mounted? For example, having the same 10 sales with $50 spend versus 500. They do. So this is going to be the last question we'll do today. And if we go over to my Age of Sage product, so we're going to go over to smudge sticks. Part of the reason why I have my smudge sticks set up the way I do is high velocity 3-pack gets all the keyword rankings. I make all the money on the 6, 12, and 100 packs. So it behooves you to have a higher velocity product turning more product, and you want to combine variations together whenever possible. If you like today's show, please give me a thumbs up, whether you're watching this live or on the replay. My name is Stephen Pope, and I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. And we have over 200 brands that we manage at My Amazon Guy, full service. Maybe you're going to be brand 201. Is there room for you? Absolutely. We've built a system that works. We do everything we can to grow your sales and give you the peace of mind that you need, that we handle everything on Amazon so you can focus on your business. So give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and say something nice in chat about what you learned today. And go grow your Amazon sales through PPC and SEO and make your traffic go up and improve your conversion with design and catalog to improve those conversion rates. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm really happy with the outcome of our podcast today. I thought we had a lot of great questions. You guys are all great human beings. And I'm just going to see if there's any happy comments to show. Just like from SE Trojan, you need to stop so I can eat lunch before my next meeting. You're right. That's why I need to do that. Very cool coming in, Fernando. All right, guys. We'll see you guys later. Thanks so much.